whose leaders don't accept their dictatorship, any small violation that is nothing comparable to the violations of human rights in countries where their friends are leaders, they will seize on it. They will organize international civil society, human rights organizations, Amnesty International, to blow the thing out of proportion, as if the whole world is falling. I will give you two examples. Can you compare the violation of the human and economic rights of Palestinians by Israel? Is it comparable to any other? No. Can you? And have you ever seen anybody mention Israel as violating not only the political, social, and economic rights of Palestinians? Compare and then if it is an African country that maybe a journalist has been jailed or arrested, that's so. That's why where Professor Badlu stopped, in Africa we have all these rights protected by laws and conventions adopted by Africa for African countries and African peoples. So what I would like to add to what the beautiful suggestion by Professor Badlu is that we should include these African protocols on human and people's rights as part of our workers' education program. As part of our African workers' education program, so that we know what our continent and our countries have adopted in the promotion and protection and defense of the human and people's rights of the African peoples and countries. And then the establishment of the African Court of Justice is also a blessing for our continent, so that we as trade union leaders, we can take any of our government that violate human or people's rights, we can take them to the African Court. We are very expert in taking governments who violate ILO convention to the ILO Committee on Freedom of Association. We should be able now to also prosecute or take our own government to the African Court of Justice if we are convinced and we have the evidence